What's going on with Jake Paul and Conor McGregor? Is that fight happening, or what? Probably not. Dana White has officially reached his limit with celebrity boxing. Despite the undeniable market for these kinds of fights, he absolutely cannot stand them and refuses to entertain the notion. It's likely keeping him up at night, especially with the recent buzz about Jake Paul potentially stepping into the ring with Conor McGregor. Dana finds this idea utterly absurd and has made it clear that he will not let it go unchallenged. In a recent statement, White expressed his disbelief. "Well, now that you love me, I never said I love you." He emphasized that Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed YouTuber-turned-fighter, isn't even in the same league as Conor McGregor. How Paul manages to convince himself that he's a legitimate competitor to a UFC legend is baffling. But hey, delusion doesn't cost a thing. In White's eyes, Jake should not even be fighting Conor McGregor. The size difference is glaring. Paul is much heavier and taller, which raises serious concerns about the matchup's fairness. Conor McGregor is 145 to 155 pounds. Jake Paul is a massive guy, Dana pointed out. It's evident that White is not just rejecting this fight, he's predicting disaster. He believes that Jake's attempts to redefine boxing make a mockery of the sport, and is not wrong. "I'm looking for the absolute best in the world," White continued. "These guys have trained their whole lives, fighting in smaller shows before making it to the UFC. We put the best against the best. It's just not what we do." While there's a market for celebrity boxing, he insists that it undermines the hard work of real fighters. In a shocking turn of events, Conor McGregor seems to have received the boot from Dana White for avoiding a fight with Jake Paul. White appears to have drawn the line at Paul, and it's easy to see why. McGregor, the UFC's golden boy, doesn't want to tarnish his legacy by stepping into the circus that Jake Paul has made of combat sports. McGregor is one of the best on the planet. He shouldn't be fighting kids who have YouTube videos, White stated. The spectacle of celebrity boxing has already taken over the landscape, and Conor's refusal to join this freak show is apparently a deal-breaker. Remember when the Floyd Mayweather-Conor McGregor fight took place? That fight made sense and had fans buzzing. Now, the idea of Jake Paul stepping into the ring with McGregor seems laughable to White. Jake Paul, the internet troll-turned-millionaire boxer, has somehow convinced many he's a legitimate fighter. He's pulling in 1.2 million pay-per-view buys and raking in $40 million a year, much to the dismay of boxing purists. Love him or hate him, Jake knows how to sell a fight, even if it's all smoke and mirrors. However, Dana White makes it clear that he has no intention of allowing Jake Paul to taint the UFC's legacy. The irony here is thick, considering the UFC has hosted some questionable fights in the past. Conor McGregor, the man, the myth, and the walking whiskey advertisement, is one of the richest fighters in the game, with $600 million in career earnings. But let's be honest, money hasn't been his only motivator for a while now. McGregor has a fight lined up with Dustin Poirier, and while he looks great on Instagram, ripped and ready to reclaim his throne, avoiding Jake Paul isn't just about weight classes or legacy. It's about knowing exactly how ridiculous it would look if he even entertained the idea of fighting Paul. Dana White's disdain for celebrity fights is well known. He's called them disrespectful to the sport, undermining the blood, sweat, and years of training that real fighters put in. Yet, he finds himself upset with McGregor for not jumping into the chaos. Celebrity fights aren't new but have recently spiraled into absurd territory. Take Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, for example. Logan lost to KSI, yet somehow waltzed into a fight against Mayweather. While it garnered millions of views, to White, it was the combat sports equivalent of fast food, flashy, unhealthy, and leaves you questioning your life choices. In summary, Dana White's battle against celebrity boxing is about preserving the integrity of the sport he loves. While Jake Paul and others continue to cash in on this trend, Dana remains steadfast in his commitment to real fighters and real fights. And honestly, who can blame him? As the landscape of combat sports continues to evolve, it's clear that the divide between traditional fighting and celebrity bouts is only growing wider.